Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to address everyone at the third annual Myanmar Digital Rights Forum. I am the chair of the United Nations Independent International Fact-Finding Mission on Myanmar. In August and September of last year, the fact-finding mission released its final report and detailed findings, highlighting the gravest crimes under international law, principally perpetrated by the Myanmar military. We also examined the infringement of fundamental freedoms, as well as the question of hate speech in Myanmar. I encourage everyone here to read our final report, particularly the chapter on democratic space, as it expounded the core issues in discussion at this forum. I have been asked to address the question, is Facebook's content moderation working? This question assumes that there is active content moderation by Facebook. As several Myanmar civil society organizations pointed out to the head of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, in their open letter last year, Facebook has been overly reliant on third parties to detect dangerous speech and misinformation on the platform and then to report it to them. They were far more reactive than proactive. We need to consider if this is still the case. There have been several welcome developments from Facebook since the release of our final report in August 2018. Facebook has engaged with the mission. It has reviewed our report carefully and taken some measures, for instance by deleting a number of accounts used to propagate divisive rhetoric and to incite violence, imposing bans on certain individuals who have promoted hate speech, improving its response time, saving deleted accounts and posts for use by law enforcement agencies, and so on. Facebook has also commissioned Business for Social Responsibility to carry out an independent human rights impact assessment of Facebook's presence in Myanmar. In November 2018, BSR published its report. The report supports many observations of the fact-finding mission, but it is not good enough. For example, much of the report focused on what could be done in the future without looking back at the problem and the full extent to which Facebook has failed the people of Myanmar. In terms of statistics that let us gain some insight into the operations of Facebook, the BSR report stated, Facebook proactively identified about 52% of the content removed for hate speech in Myanmar. If so, Facebook is still relying on users to report almost half of all the removed content that amounts to incitement to discrimination and violence. This is not nearly enough to say the platform has an effective content moderation system. At the heart of the problem is the lack of transparency in how Facebook's content moderation policies are shaped. These policies are managed internally by the company without contribution from external independent parties and without any oversight. The platform needs to engage better with Myanmar civil society organizations as well as the greater digital rights community. It needs to seek the latter's input in developing viable policies that cater to the specific context and challenges of Myanmar while also complying with the international human rights standards. The means by which Facebook actively detects content that amounts to hate speech can also be improved. Currently, Facebook employs either artificial intelligence or staff who can read and review Myanmar language. For the first, Facebook's AI is not compatible with the Zhao font, most commonly used in Myanmar on the platform. This greatly limits the extent to which AI can detect hate speech in Myanmar. As for the human reviewers, Facebook announced in November 2018 that it has 99 Myanmar language experts reviewing posts. Considering there are over 18 million active users in Myanmar, it is hard to see what impact 99 reviewers can have for all the content on the platform. This is before taking into account the various ethnic languages and dialects. Furthermore, the implications of Facebook's algorithm need to be considered. Many technology experts have questioned how the algorithm that tends to push up controversial and polarizing content, thereby increase engagement, can also reduce the appearance of inciting posts. This very algorithm can be manipulated to raise hate, create chaos, and jeopardize democracy. I hope I have given you a few key points to consider as you go about the discussion of this topic. The effective remedy, of course, is to stop hate speech at its source. Clear, decisive action from the government is required. This should begin with government officials refraining from using hateful and divisive rhetoric, systematically condemning the instances of hate speech, countering the prevailing discriminatory narratives about minorities, and actively promoting messages of tolerance and respect for the human rights of all. Thank you.